Stripping dead end, your assignment is to swipe component number 1. Boys, we'll just be here long enough to pick up a little souvenir. Oh, Menasor!
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike coming at you with the FansToys FT-31 and 31E. This is Bandit, and we are going to take a look at this guy. We're going to do all the transformations on him and stuff. Long awaited Bandit, finally here. And I am going to show you the combined mode, what his part of the combined mode, and it's going to be enough to do what we need to do for the video. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, as painless as possible, and as fun as possible. We put an end of an era of the first two combiners of FansToys, and now let's see how long it takes Devastator to get done. But I think this is a Shozy store. You can still get yours there too, and I'm gonna have a link down below where you can get yours. TH and support the reviewer on the main page. You want to help the channel out. But let's get into taking a look at this guy, Bandit, coming up. Here's the box, and mine's got some dents and dings in it, and it is what it is. It's big, it's huge. It's got to house a massive figure in it, and there it goes. Lots of fun. It shows you both of the different modes. I mean, we're not going to get into quite all that. We're just going to do a little bit of what I've got set up for this figure, and I'll do the combined mode in another video, but I've got much bigger plans for that. I'm going to start this video out a little different than I normally do. I'm going to talk about what everyone has been complaining about for him. Number one complaint is that he's light. He's an arm. It's good that he's light. There's no diecast in him just because he's an arm. We are going to have a ton of diecast in whatever the next figure comes, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting Blitzwing pretty soon, Bandit. That's like a 7-year project coming to fruition. And then the other thing people are saying is the lack of articulation. We'll get to articulation in time being. And yeah, with that, there's also a gap in alt mode. That's the 3 complaints I've been hearing from people all over the place about Bandit in their disappointment. And with that, let's just get into it and take a look at his 2 accessories for this mode. He basically has 2 guns, and there's really not much going on with them. I think they do have that. There's a pin in it, so they do kind of transform. Probably could clip in somewhere in the alt mode. And then here is the other gun. And that's kind of cool. He's got 2 guns. I mean, that's all you really need with him. Also, he comes with an extra face, which I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference in the face. I'm not big on swapping faces unless... like, there's one that I like so much more. I think kind of like Starscream. Starscream needs to have that sneer. He's got to look devious. Or that kind of crazy smile. I kind of swapped those out. But for this, I mean, there's really no reason. Right out of the package, I had a couple of things. I'm trying to mimic how it came out of the package just from memory. But you got to pull this up. And then you have to flip this... how did we have that? Like this. To get that like that. And then you bring this down and it'll all seat in. Like this. Pretty much. I believe that's exactly how it's supposed to go. Or somewhat how it's supposed to go. Now, I remember there was some weird stuff with the feet. And I don't really remember how they had the feet. It was weird how they had the feet. Because I do know they do move around for the transformation. There's a bit of a sliding mechanism to it. Alright, I believe this is how they had the feet. I believe this is how it comes shipped with the feet. And you're like, oh, where's his feet? Stubby feet. And then you have to pull it out. And when you pull it out, it kind of flips this tab piece around and gets in there for a better foot. And then, of course, you do that in transformation, but you're just kind of partially transforming. I don't know. I don't know why they do that for shipping purposes. Maybe they think that you'll break the feet if they're normal. Anyway, that's how I remember it coming out of the box. I mean, I've actually had it for a day, and been messing with it, so forgot exactly how it came out the box. But I do remember that being an issue. Now let's go ahead and look at the look of this guy. And he does look pretty good. I think he looks okay. I don't have any problem with him. The only thing I feel is a little off is that the chest, it feels like it should be a little bit more slimmer. Maybe we should go down to more of a point. It's a little bit wide. That's my only real issue. I never liked the whole wheels on the inside. It is what it is. Never liked that. But it is what it is. And, I mean, maybe they could have hid the wheels. I don't know. That would have made it look a little bit better. It does look like the contours off, but that's the character, not the figure. So I'm not really going to ding it for that. It does have quite a bit of paint on here, different colors of gray, shades of gray. Not 50 though. And then rubber on the tires. Does have the clear windshield. We'll see more of that. Chrome on the wheels. It's kind of nice. And paint on the doors. We'll see a little bit of that coming up, but yeah, it's overall, I don't think it's a bad figure. So far, I haven't seen anything to really get me too fired up about it, but let's get into the articulation. The head's going to turn side to side, up and down, and he can give a little bit down, not much, but shoulder goes out, well, it goes well past the 90. It is a little loose in that shoulder, which is kind of odd for FansToys, but not a huge deal. You could do the 360, which is fine, and you've got bicep swivel, but not a double jointed elbow, which I think is, I guess, something bothers people. He has independent fingers, which is great on just a carbot, which is fine. Waist swivel, and I think that's what upsets people. No ab crunch. Not the end of the world for me though. I'm not too bothered by it. Old school hip flaps. You know, they were doing hip flaps like this like 5 years. Oh, never mind. Okay. Well past the 90 right there. He does some crazy foot action, and then a little bit below the 90 there. Got some thigh swivel. Nice hidden. There's not a break in this, and it's weird. He's got these hip flaps, but yet his hips are still exposed. That's interesting. That's all you get out of the knee, so you're not getting double jointed knees or elbows or ab crunch. Not the end of the world for me though. I don't really. It's not gonna end my world. And you can get a little toe tilt and some stuff, everything you need out of the foot. And once you've got it transformed properly, everything you would need. And he stands okay. And you can get him into some, relatively dynamic poses. So I don't think the few things that's lacking in articulation is a horrible thing, but I also think that this is a 5-year-old figure. What you gonna say? I found an ab crunch. Check it out. Take him to the side, and he'll ab crunch that way. It's like Saturday night went way wrong for him. He drank the wrong oil and the wrong energon. All right, for comparison, I'm going to put him next to the X-Transbots Stunticons. That's so far my favorite. He just looks really good, and because he's a leg, he's very, very hefty. This guy is pretty light, and I'm okay with that. And then there is the... Did I grab the MP44 KO? Yeah, well, I mean, it's just size and scale, so that you can get size and scale out of that. And we can bring in this one here, Paragon, for also X-Transbots. So exciting, fun times. So many combiners, so much going on, so much happening right now. Now for the transformation, we want to get the ball rolling, and I want to start with the arms and the hands and all that kind of stuff. That's how I like to start things, and get this out of the way. Open this up. Make sure your hands are folded up. I put the thumb down, and then this goes here. We want to rotate this around to where the outside matches the finished look of the wheel, and then we're going to slide that in, close this up, close this up with the... How'd this fall off? It just clips on. It's not a big deal, but there we go. Anyway, we got that. Didn't have it on the first one. Now what we're going to do, and it fell off again. All right, rearview mirror, clip back on. Flip his head around to the back. We're going to open up his chest, and then we're going to open this up, and then we're going to open this stuff up again and pull all this down. Get this into here. And we do want to do a couple things. We want to fold this into here before we close all this up. These side panels, they're just gap fillers on the side. We need to close that up. And then before we close all this up, we need to move the arms in. And they just collapse. And we have to tab it. So we have to insert this tab into here. Insert us. And then tab into the sides there. And I kind of assume, you know, how did you assume, that this will hold in better now that it's not holding in better. I may have an issue with mine. Not a big deal for me though. Don't really care. Let's get this one here in. And as you can see, it's going to go into this stuff here is going to double fold into that cavity. As you tab it in. This should be the easy part. What's going on? Just kind of gotta wiggle it around a little bit, get it in there just right, and should be there. And there it is. Now we're gonna get all this tightened up and slide this down into place and get that tabbed in there. Tabs in here, here, and here. And just takes a little fiddling with that. We're going to leave all this open because this does tab into the legs when we do the legs. So we have to do the legs. And this is going to extend. And we're going to get down here into the legs. I'm going to do the legs in a similar fashion as with the arm. Alright, so you want to open this all up and bring all this out. This piece could possibly catch if you're not too careful with it. So bring all this up. This is going to fold inward. We need to fold this in, and fold this in. Then we need to take this and do what we had done before with this kind of flipperoo kind of deal to compress the foot. Compresses the foot like so, folding the actual compressed foot in, and that's okay. That's not working for me, and it's trying to uncompress as I'm folding it in, which user error. It's me. It's all me. Let's go back and get that redone the right way, but decompress this and then fold it all the way in, and that works. Then we have this. Now this is a retaining clip for the knee, to retain the knee in place, and you need to pull that down, and then it needs to fold down. Let's unretain the clip, and then this piece has to fold in. Clear everything, fold in, and we are almost ready to flip this all the way around. As you can see, we're getting into a car mode here. And then one of the things we're going to do is going to fold all this up into here. So we have to clear this, and we have to fold this up, and then this is going to come around and tap. Now, this section here, this is where people are getting a gap. So if this isn't tabbed in all the way, then there's going to be a gap. This has to tab in and be flush. And as you can see, mine's not flush. People have complained about this gap, so I'm going to do a little work on it so mine doesn't have the gap. And then we're going to do the other side and clip together. Then you close it up. That piece, that tab that I was showing you, is the problem with the gap. I simultaneously, I didn't think I could get it on camera. It took me about 3 minutes, but I pushed those in, and then I did this to close it with no gap. And then closing this up. And then this comes down, and we have the 2 tabs here. And I can't believe that's all the tabs that there are in this. Oh yeah, then there's 1 tab on the bottom. Here we go. Get it connected. Does that look good? I think that looks pretty good. Oh wow, it rolls. Alright, so here it is for the car mode. And I gotta say, I think I've eliminated the majority of that gap, but there's still a slight bit in there on mine. I've read a few other comments about people complaining about that, but overall, a good looking alt mode, I think. And, you know, how else are you gonna do it? How else are you gonna make this figure without the legs splitting and doing all that kind of stuff? I'm okay with it. Transformation really isn't that bad. It's a pretty good transformation. Once he's condensed like this, like they always do, they have a lot more heft, even with no die cast at all, except for in the screws. That's not really die cast though. This has some weight behind it for the size of this, and it's gonna work well as an arm, I hope. Anyway, it does look really good. I like it. I first thought I cracked this, and it's actually it's a windshield wiper in the back. I was like, oh, I cracked it. That's funny. The added detail scared me for a second. I do like the blue. I wish the windows were blue. I mean, it's just, I like the blue windows. What do you guys think of this? Does this look more real world though with that color, and then the chrome, the detail we pointed out earlier? More fun stuff in the front with those lights. The bottom is super clean. Super clean. I mean, how could you ask for a more clean bottom of a transforming car? And this is now holding back on for me, so you know, maybe I just tried to pop it on, maybe I didn't pop it on right, I don't know. Popped off, popped it back on, there it goes. I was about to do some comparisons and I was like, wait a second, look, we've got guns. Check that out. This will clip to this little notch right here. And get it in just right. You could do it without scratching paint. It is pretty much painted head to toe, so that's always a concern for FansToys if you're scratching paint. The first one went on super duper easy. Maybe it's because it's off camera. Everything's easier when you have a better perspective and leverage and all that good stuff. But there it is. You got the toy look. The only ones I have toy, and I looked in my baggie of combiner parts, and the only one I have toy are combined. I will not uncombine one of my G1 combiners. It's a death sentence for that figure. It always is. Head will pop off or something. Anyway, that's a kind of a cool look. They incorporated it without having to have the extra assembly piece to connector piece. That is smart. That works. I like it. I really like it. I mean, I like callbacks and homages to toy. Didn't you watch yesterday's Friday video? We could compare this guy to a bunch of stuff, but I'm going to compare him to a Prime and an Ironhide. Ironhide! So, there he is. Prime and Ironhide. Does that sound good? Who else did he like to play with? I remember the episode where he raced Cup and... No, okay, that was not in an episode. I just have these. This is the 2.0, which is a great figure of Cup. X-Transbots, MMC, and, you know, that's what I do with the old figures. When I get a new one and I like the bot mode better and it's in the display, I put the other ones to all mode. Use them for comparisons and for other things, but there you go. Now for combine mode, I'm going to try to make this as elegant as possible, but you need to undo what we did. Hey, check it out. No paint rub on those points where the gun was. Now, I'm sure if you did it multiple times, you could possibly get the paint rub, but I got none. We're going to just kind of keep this up here out of the way for the time being. Hold that up. And then we need to split it. Split it. Oh, split it. And we're to there. Now you do not want this the waist piece like that, so we got to push it back in. I split it too far. All right, when you push those back in, if you do what I did, which probably you might, I don't see how you could split that and not do that, but make sure you push the hip flaps in and then collapse it equally with equal pressure on each side. Now we need to open up these flaps because these will actually tab in to the arm piece, the parts forming arm piece. And Takara has approved parts forming. They said it was okay because that's how they did it back in the day. Oh wait, did they approve FansToys making everything? I think they did because they're literally out of the Masterpiece game. All right, so there's where we're at. We are going to bring this down, and it was tabbed in here. Now it's tabbed in there. Now we got an arm ready for acceptance. Now when you get this, mine for whatever reason was the hand was flipped around, and it just looked like they expected to be the other way. This is how it should be. I think the hand was like this. So there's a lot of weird things, and I feel like my camera is a little too low. A lot of weird things with this. Now we want to split this. You want to remember how this goes together. You got to line all this up just right. But anyway, this is how you want it because the figure's going to go on like this. And then you're going to tab in these two tabs to those two slots. And then give that a nice little squeeze. Same thing right here. And then you're going to test it all out. Oh, it's splitting on me. Test it all out. Then you want to put this piece in, and everything has to line up exactly. So these notches, I feel like I'm zoomed in or something. There that is. Let me zoom out. That's a little better. Well, it's getting bigger, I guess you could say. It's getting a bit bigger with that. And then we have these pieces here that are going, this is not for the this part. This is for when you add it to the actual figure. So we've got this where I think it needs to be. We'll make any adjustments on the fly as we put them on. Guess what? Menasor. He's a big boy. And let's see if we can get all of this to work. Get him standing solid there. Don't want him falling apart on me while I'm doing this. Alright, let's see if I can get this filmed. We're going to slide this into here. These side pieces clamp on. Clamp on. So tab this in, clamp that, clamp in the back one right now. Then you have these metal die-cast metal pieces that fold in, and they need to tab in to give you some arm movement here. So let's take a look at this guy. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a separate video of this guy. I've just got him together enough that we can show what, you know, this arm does. This is the Bandit review, and this comes with Bandit, so we got to show some stuff that's going on there. This moves, and that's fine. How that works. You've got some independent fingers here, all looking really good. And then, of course, you come with his weapons, accessories. But I'm going to show you a secret that I've been hiding from everyone for today. All day today. I don't have Motor Master in there. I don't have anything on the back. And I'm able to make it work. Now, let me tell you this. It's not super solid without Motor Master. Or if they print a 3D kit and you slap a 3D kit in it, it'll be solid. It is, you got to be careful. It will split and fall in half. It's already done it once to me, but you handle it with the lower legs, you'll be fine. So could you combine them without Motor Master, put them on your shelf, display them like this forever? Probably. As long as you got them set up just right. And he doesn't fall forward. Oh gosh, I'd be worried about him falling forward when he got... Well, let's put his accessories in his hands. Alright, so here he is. wanting to be a big pain in the butt. He's wanting to lean forward. I've got some forward leaning tendencies with him. Not exactly sure how to correct that, other than the fact that when you have Motormaster in it, it's going to balance backwards a lot more, and maybe they engineered that in. Plus the fact that I do have the legs in the forward position, you can do legs in the backwards. There's a whole lot more to this that would take a full hour. I don't want to do a full hour. Now, we have this, which we could put this on his chest. This is a thing that can be done with some chest action. I've got to look into all that. But it's a car. And I'm just going to stick with calling them Blackout. I don't care. People try to say, oh, it's not Blackout. Well, whatever. That's what Hasbro and Takara are calling it. There's some faces, a sneer, all this. But, of course, I'll go into more of this stuff in a full review of Marauder himself, the actual big dude. But I'm happy with the face that's in there. It's kind of smug, like I took 5 years and I'm the best. I think he does look the best. I don't know. I'll let you make your own mind up. All right, this was a heck of a chore to get all this stuff out of here, out of 2 different displays to do a comparison. But here are the 3 main Menasors on the market in the modern era. And, well, the Menasor race was 5 years ago, but now FansToys has finally entered it, or finished it. X-Transbot's on the left. Shortest. It's medium grade expense. It's not the cheapest. That's the X9. It's not the most expensive. It does look nice. Has a little bit more of a premium look to it. I would not go to any base mode. I hear that the trailer, though, in the secondary markets, because it's sold out everywhere, is like $400 or $500 now. So the combining parts for this are more expensive than the current FansToys, because the FansToys is currently on the market. FansToys, most expensive, took a long time. I think it's the best. I think it looks the best. It feels solid. It has a couple of different options for display mode, and I like it. I like it. I do say it's the last, it's the best. It's like $1,200 to $1,500 to get it, or even more than that if you want to track down all of the components to it. And then DX9 over here, best value, lowest priced option, easiest one to get your hands on, and easiest to transform. I don't know if it's so easy to get your hands on these days, but anyway, it was like $400 if you bought everything as it was coming out. And then there's like a $400 or $450 box set that's been on pre-order for like 2 years. But best value, easy to use, and it looks okay. It looks okay. But at the end of the day, I would go with the FansToys if I had the option of the 3 right now. And you sort of do. Tracking down the other bots once you've bought Bandit is going to be the tough part. Alright, so that's all I got. That's my look at FansToys, Bandit, and Marauder, and combined. And this was already a lot of work just to do a comparison of these, not to mention the full video of combined. That's going to come down the road because I have plans for that. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with my assessment of all of these combiners? Do you agree with my my opinions on the Bandit figure? Did I help you get rid of the gap in the back? Well, probably not, but let me know all these things in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Tidy Maker out.